Hey, manga fans, this is John, host of Video Games in the World. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I did a manga review, and it was Shimoneda. But since I haven't been reading lately, because I've been busy with a lot of personal issues, and I haven't even done a comic book review last night or the Monday of last week. So today I decided, instead of a review, to talk about a character history. And a manga character history I'm going to talk about is Gambino of Berserk. Now, why Gambino? Well, because I'm trying to prepare for a Berserk review, and my first Berserk review will be of the Black Swordsman. But this is a good way to start with Berserk, so you can get to know about the character of Gambino. So not only mangas as I'll be reviewing, but also talking about the history of manga characters. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the history of Gambino of Berserk. Enjoy! Beginning of the Golden Age arc. Gambino is a leader of a band of mercenaries that was first introduced in the first chapter of the Golden Age arc, where he and his band of mercenaries observe a collection of corpses hanging from a tree. A corpse of a woman gives birth, and his lover, Shizu, who had suffered a miscarriage and has gone insane, insists on taking the baby, whom Gambino is dead until the baby cries out. Gambino accedes to Shizu's demand to adopt the baby, who they name Guts. However, some of the mercenaries contend that a baby born from a corpse is an ill omen, in which Gambino asks them, "Why? Are you scared or something?" 3 years later, Shizu dies from the plague, and Guts was the only one beside her. Now, why Gambino was not next to Shizu on the time that she died? Because, much to the chagrin of the nurses who were attending her, he was at a castle siege. And the death of Shizu would greatly affect Gambino and blame Guts for her death. 3 years on the battlefield, he orders Guts to hand him a spear in which he uses against an enemy soldier. The dead body falls in front of the scared Guts, where Gambino berates him not to be slow. Then, Gambino trains Guts in swordsmanship, but Guts insists on using a sword too large for him, which slows him down. In one training session, Gambino knees Guts in the stomach and tells him he has now to earn his keep. Guts charges with his sword, but Gambino slashes him a few times, and even cuts his nose. Guts counters with a thrust, cutting Gambino's cheek, and in a fit of rage, Gambino cuts Guts' nose, giving him his distinctive scar. The next day, Gambino gives him a medicine for the wound on his nose. And by that time, Guts has made 100 swings with his sword. 3 years later, Gambino tells Guts to work hard in his first real battle. When Guts kills an enemy soldier, he is put to the ground by another one who is killed by Gambino, who berates him to not get too excited just because he killed one. After the battle, Guts gives Gambino his share, and in return, he receives a coin for good work, in which Gambino tells him, "Keep it up." However, Gambino then sells Guts to a pedophile mercenary called Donovan. After Guts is molested, when Donovan has his way with him, he confronts a drunk Gambino for a reason, in which Gambino merely replies that it's too early to train, as he's too hungover. In the next battle, when Guts finally gets his revenge on Donovan, in that same battle, Gambino loses his right leg to a cannon, and this ends his mercenary career and becomes bitter and angrier. No longer able to take part in battle, his position as leader begins to weaken. And once again, he pins the blames on Guts for his misfortune. When Guts shows up with a bonus for killing the enemy general, Gambino instead furiously demands for the meat for his dog, hitting him Guts in the cheek with his crutch, which brings ridicule from some of the other mercenaries. That night, Gambino enters Guts with the intent to kill him in a fit of rage. He rants at Guts, blaming him for the death of Shizu and his condition, and going so far in calling him a son of a devil. He even confesses to Guts that he sold him to Donovan, which greatly shocks and hurts the one boy who look at Gambino as his father figure. When he attempts to slash Guts, Guts mortally wounds him in his throat, killing him. And then the next time you see Gambino is in a dream when Guts is nearly put to the brink of death while fighting the Band of the Hawk. And he's also seen, and he also remembers Gambino when he sees General Urias training with his son. Not to mention that he also has a third dream about Gambino. And that's pretty much it for Gambino, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what do I think about Gambino? Well, all I can say is that he was a jerk, and in my honest opinion, he taught Guts nothing except the sword. But at least this helped Guts survive a lot of tough situations. And he was like cruel, sadistic, psychotic, and mentally unstable. But at least he had some 1% degree of humanity, which is loving Shizu. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is John, host of Video Games in the World. I hope you enjoyed the story of Gambino of Berserk. So comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and also support me on Patreon due to this apocalypse driving everyone insane. This is John, host of Video Games in the World. Have a good one. Bye-bye.